Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Missing Gear. Denny fucking Hamlin.
Denny Hamlin. Got it again. You know what? Dylan, we were watching a race, we were texting back and forth, and I think the biggest... I'm going to take that back. Not even the biggest surprise. Somehow, the last how many races, Kevin Harvick is just sitting there in like
Fucking
10th.
appears out of nowhere.
And then all of a sudden, at the end of the race, you're just like, holy shit, there's Kevin. Oh my god, Kevin Harvick's about to win. And then there he is, just freaking leading the race.
Yeah.
I just can't believe it. Like, the Kentucky race was the same way. All of a sudden, and I think the Texas race, he's nowhere to be found, and then right at the end, he always shows up, and he's like, holy shit, there's Kevin Harvick.
Yep.
Front of the pack again. I just don't get it.
He's fucking insane, and once again, it's Harvick and Hamlin, and honestly, the only guy that can beat Harvick is Hamlin right now. That's what it feels like. I know Harvick kind of faded away at the end, finished fourth, but wow.
That's true. But, to go back on Kevin Harvick and Denny Hamlin, Brad Keselowski's having a great season.
Yes.
A sneaky good, great season. Like, one of his best seasons, actually.
Another top five. Stage win. He was always in the top five.
Unbelievable.
I was a little surprised because he was gaining those final couple laps on Hamlin, that he didn't catch Hamlin. I'd say with about 3 laps to go, Hamlin sealed the deal. But up until then,
you're right. He was
Brad
catching
was going to
it.
get him.
He was, and I thought the same thing. I thought Brad was going to get him, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. This is going to be a race to the finish. But Denny changed his line at the end, the last 3 laps. Mm-hmm. Like, Brad was kind of running high. He was really gaining on him in 1 and 2, and Denny was basically gaining it back on 3 and 4, and then Denny ran up like a groove higher, it seemed like, on 1 and 2 to take away whatever Brad could gain.
Mm-hmm.
Which helped Denny's case, obviously, because he won the race.
Brad got to, 0.3 behind Hamlin, and then he just kind of...
He kind of stalled after about half a second,
Stalled.
0.4 of a second back.
Yeah. And then he just kind of spent the rest of the time around that half second. But yeah, it was...
Mark Stewart Jr. was kind of catching him, too, at the end, and it was...
He had the fastest car towards the end.
He did, and it was a good last couple laps, because I'm glad to see there was a few lead changes there, and it wasn't the same old, oh, there's Denny Hamlin taking, a 4-second lead in the last 5 laps, nothing ridiculous. So, I want to talk about winners and losers from that Kansas race.
All right. Where do you want to start?
I want to talk about the winners. So, okay. William Byron was a for sure winner out of that race.
Yes.
He, considering Chad Knaus wasn't there, they were up front at the end.
We thought he had a chance to win it.
We did, and I actually did. If he was on the same pitch strategy as everybody else, he could have, but obviously he got up to the front because he was on a different pitch strategy. Mm-hmm. Him running with no tires, no fresh tires, up front, he had a really fast car, and he was pulling away. And even when Brad passed him, he was able to come back and pass him back. Mm-hmm. He had a really strong car, yeah. And I think that's the momentum the 24 team needed. Alex Bowman, I want to talk about Chevys and Hendrick real quick here, also had a pretty good race. He finished 8th. He was ahead of William Byron. He also had a good race, and Chase Elliott was up there. Chase Elliott was 12th. So that was really good for the Hendrick camp.
Some was good for the Hendrick camp.
Jimmy was a loser.
Yes, Jimmy.
Jimmy was a big loser.
Jimmy got hit probably harder than anyone else in this race.
Yes, because Eric Jones finished 5th.
Eric Jones is definitely a winner.
Eric Jones was a winner.
He finished 6th at Texas.
Eric Jones was a big winner.
Pointed his way? No, I don't think he pointed his way in.
Close,
he's
right on the bubble
Byron,
now. Mm-hmm.
But he's heating up, so that is not
right
good
on the
news
bubble.
for Jimmy.
Tyler Reddick had another good race. William Byron, all the guys on the cut line, basically except Matt DiBenedetto and Jimmy Johnson. And Matt DiBenedetto
had a nice cushion.
He did. So now Matt is kind of on that. Okay, he's not doing so great now. Jimmy,
but he was running fairly good.
He was. He had a
before.
pretty good car.
Yeah.
He did.
And that's a team that's really putting it together, even though they have a new driver. They haven't been able to practice.
They're really putting it together, especially
2021 is going to be a good year for Matty D.
I really hope so. I really hope it is. So now Jimmy is not. There's 7 races left. Jimmy's not in a must-win yet. But he is getting very close. Give it through the Michigan weekend.
Sketchy.
Give it through the Michigan weekend, and let's see where things shake out. But if he is minus 40 after the Michigan weekend, I think it is a must-win situation.
Yep.
If he's right there on the cut line, he can still point his way in, but he needs a lot of things to go his way. It's almost like when it gets to the end of the NFL season and they start saying, well, the Packers, or not the Packers because usually they're in the playoffs. Just saying.
They need the Giants.
But we need the Giants to lose. We need the Cleveland Browns to win.
Need the
and we need the Vikings to
tie.
To get into the playoffs. Yeah. He needs to have a lot of things go his way in order to get it. But there'll still be 5 races after. Well, there'll be 4 races technically after the Michigan weekend because they will run 3 more races by then. And I guess we'll see where things shake out. But he's close. He's very close, but he's not in a must-win situation yet. He needs to finish a race at this point.
Yes.
He's had such shit luck.
So rough.
For a while that there's so many things that I could just point out that's like just bad luck. That just, it just happens. Whatever. Another winner.
Almirola? He's a winner.
I'm not. Fuck Almirola. I didn't even consider him. At this point,
6th.
he's top 10, whatever. He's
on
just
the
there.
biggest fuck you missing gear tour ever.
Eating crow every week.
By the fucking spoonful. Oh.
But here are the 2 I want to say. Ty Dillon, finishing 15th.
15. That's good for Ty Dillon.
Was a good race for Ty Dillon. Okay. Very good race for Ty Dillon. The Chevys this week weren't outstanding because there's nobody in the top 7.
Do you want to know who's the loser?
They're still doing pretty decent. Yeah, who do you got?
Popped up to my mind, and I can't believe that we already didn't bring him up. Joey Logano.
That's a good point. He's been really struggling in the last how many weeks?
Excellent at the beginning of the race.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken. And then he got that...
He led 20-some laps or whatever, and then...
Loose tire, got forced to the back, and then the rest of his
after
day
that, just went right downhill. Yeah, that incident
Horrible.
on pit road, that penalty really just killed his whole day. It really did. It brought it from potential race-winning car to now I'm in the back, what am I going to do? He gained a lot of spots with being in the back, but it was still a real struggle for him, and that's how he found himself in the position he was in, obviously.
Finished 8 spots behind Quinn Hoff.
Quinn Hoff, the Birdman. So, another winner I want to talk about quick, which is kind of out of the ordinary, is J.J. Yeley. Now, why do I bring this up? Is because he finished 22nd. Now, granted, there are a lot of cars that crashed out and everything, and I think you account for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 10 cars that would have finished in front of him. 22nd is pretty good for J.J. Yeley. Now, I say that because his team is a very underfunded team. Okay? Rick Ware Racing is not, by any means, a super funded team. Right?
No.
But, with them coming in and getting, I think, 22nd, which I think is a very good, decent race for them, it's good for that team. And J.J. Yale is actually not that bad of a driver. He used to race for JGR, didn't he? Back in the 18?
He's pretty awful, Matt. He was pretty awful.
No. Okay.
He replaced Bobby.
That's what I'm saying. He didn't do much with it.
To the 18. Brought shame.
Okay. Listen,
they had to bring in Kyle Busch to fix it.
He's not.
He was horrible.
Great.
He was horrible.
But no. Dylan,
I think
hold on.
JGR was better off with Jason Leffler if they just put Leffler in that car.
Rip Jason Leffler. But hear me out. For that organization, that's a good driver. Okay. For Rick Ware Racing, that's a good driver. And for them
I
to
feel
get
like
20
it's
seconds,
appropriate-
and
it's
for
an
them,
appropriate drive.
and for them to, there was somewhere in the third stage, he was still on the lead lap, and I was like, that's pretty good for that team, considering all their other cars are like 5-6 laps down, and he's still on the lead lap.
That is true.
That's good for that team, and that's good that they at least have somebody who can do something, because I don't like seeing these teams get in here and they're out sooner rather than later because they don't have the funding. So if they can get better finishes, obviously they get more funding, better sponsorships, the whole 9 yards. But that's one thing that I thought of that was kind of a good winner for that race organization.
Cole Custer had a nice rebound.
Yeah, he did.
It was a nice rebound for Custer because he crashed, if I'm not mistaken, at Texas.
Yes, he did. Really bad wreck at Texas. That was part of the really bad pileup they had there.
It's nice to see him rebound. He is locked into the playoff, but it's nice to see him at another 1.5.
Do well. Yep. Yeah, no, I can agree with that. Well, a few other losers recently is Ryan Preece, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and the entire JTG organization has just had some awful luck the last how many weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Preece has had a string of last place finishes from just
3
wrecks.
of them. And
yeah.
then Stenhouse today.
Yesterday.
Although, in a way, for Ryan Preece, I feel like it was a little bit of a win because he did have a good car, and they talked about how good of a car he had and how he might have had a top 10 car.
He did. He was running. He had a decent car for Ryan Preece, and he was doing better than as of late. And he's just bad luck, and you could tell him getting out of the car, he was frustrated because he knew he had a good car.
I love that. Fantastic.
Yeah, on the radio. Yeah, he crashed in the wall super hard, and everybody's thinking, "Oh my God, I'm glad he's alive," and he's just thinking, "God, fantastic."
Not to mention, when I saw that car going that fast towards the wall, and then hit it, I thought first microsecond, I thought, "Oh, that's awesome," and then I'm like, second microsecond, I'm like, "Oh, people don't survive that."
Yeah, I was like, "Oh my God!" I seriously was like, "Oh, big wreck." And then he hit the wall, and I'm like, "Oh my God, it's a
and then
bad
they just
wreck."
played fantastic right away.
Right at instantly they put
Can
the
we
audio
make that
in
his
there.
nickname? Fantastic. I love
Fantastic 37.
that. Fantastic 37. I like it.
Somebody else, another loser out of that race, Ryan Blaney again has just had some bad luck, man.
Yeah.
Just bad luck. He had a decent car almost all race.
All the Penske's
Got on
had
the
a pretty
wrong
good
pit
car.
strategy, just unlucky. He's had so many good cars. He's led so many laps too.
Yes.
In how many other races that it's.
I thought
he
that was
needs
a good pick that you had.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna string it all together. I'm like, I think he can get one here, and he obviously it didn't happen, but he was leading some good races, and
Still having a great season, but it's
he
just,
is. Oh, for sure. He just needs
it
to.
Could just be a little better.
It could be a little better if he could win races.
Yep. If some things break right, he could be in that Harvick Hamlin kind of territory.
That's for sure. He could have
At least
stole
a little
some
under.
race wins actually from Harvick
Yes.
and Hamlin, in my opinion.
Without a doubt. Since we just brought up Ryan Blaney and we talked about Harvick earlier, no one got any points in our pick
our
standings
picks.
this week.
Nobody, I know, man.
If Brad would have won, that would have benefited me the most. Because I had Penske, and then you had Stuart Haas, you had Ryan Blaney.
Yeah, Blaney,
I
but
had
yeah,
Harvick, and we both
I
had
would have
Ford.
only had a point for getting Ford.
Yeah, and honestly, Ford's the way to go, because if it's not Ford, it's Denny Hamlin.
At this point, yeah,
Basically.
it's not Ford, it's Denny Hamlin. Because, Martin Truex Jr. has only won one race in the Toyota. And
Although
then the
Martin
rest of them-
Truex Jr., we're going to talk about New Hampshire in a little bit.
Yeah.
But Martin Truex Jr. heating up. He's great. He had a real chance to win this race. He's good at New Hampshire. I can't believe I didn't pick him for New Hampshire because, god damn it. I think I even said, he doesn't have one at
Kansas. He didn't have one at
Yeah,
Kansas.
he didn't
right?
have one at Kansas. And I thought, fuck, that car might catch him. I thought if Brad doesn't catch him, maybe
I thought
Truex.
he was
if
close.
there's a late restart at the very end, green, white, checkered, it'd just be great.
He could have easily caught him at the end. I agree. He was gaining on him too, and even Brad was close there at the end, but he just didn't have. He didn't have enough laps to close him in.
Kind of kept stalling out.
He kept stalling out, and I think he kind of had a little speed there, but he just couldn't finish the deal. And Brad couldn't find a lot of speed there at the last closing laps. I think Denny just matched him.
Yeah.
Is what it came down to. How Denny won that.
And that's kind of been the difference between Denny and Brad. That's that drop off between 2 and 3 in that grid. Denny's the guy who's getting them.
Brad, okay. Well,
Brad
I think will be there at the end at Phoenix.
He's been the third best driver this season, without a doubt.
Him and Blaney. And originally I was saying Logano, and I think we're both agreeing. But Logano just dropped off the map, and now here's Brad on the pedestal. And now at this point, I know we're talking about Austin Cedric and how his dad's the president of Penske, right?
Yep.
But now at this point I'm thinking, I still think Brad should get re-signed at Penske.
I hope that happens.
So do I. I don't know.
It's just, Austin Cedric is getting so good in the Xfinity.
He is.
And I bet Brad is going to run up Brad's going to need a big payday wherever he goes. Because, what? I don't know off the top of my head, but he's probably mid-30s. He's still probably got another 10 years in the series.
He is a good, at least you could get a good 4 or 5 years out of him, I think, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I don't, think he'll be a Kevin Harvick where he's
45 and still winning races.
Where it's like he's
he's
at
30,
his peak.
He's 36, all right? I mean, he has a good 4 years left.
Yeah,
for sure 4 years.
4 years of being a top, I'd say, 12 driver at the very least. His floor for the next 4 years is one of the 12 best drivers. He might be the 12th if he struggles.
Yeah, but
he'll be the 12th.
I could agree with that. It's a no-brainer to me for Penske. I mean, why wouldn't you sign him again? Bring him back again.
Exactly.
And I mean, even if you want Austin Cedric in there, fuck, like you said, get the O2 and make it a four-car team.
Snap on. Get on that.
You keep saying that he's already sponsored by Keselowski. Snap on. Sponsor 2 cars.
Okay, well, Discount Tire, just focus on Keselowski.
No. Miller Lite, full year sponsorship. That's what I want to see.
To come back, but I don't think they will because Miller Lite.
Busch just has a bigger presence now, and I think Miller Lite's like, nah.
Miller got bought out by I think it's Molson Coolers.
Yeah, well, they basically merged.
Yeah, and they're
from my understanding,
basically changing a lot of what Miller has been doing, and they're kind of phasing out the Blue Deuce. I mean, it hasn't been Blue Deuce in a while, but Rusty.
The almighty God himself.
Rusty.
It is sad because the same thing happened with Lowe's.
Yeah.
The same exact thing happened.
Almost made it all of Jimmy's career.
They got different CEO, and they completely switched their marketing tactic, and then there goes Lowe's. Yeah. Which sucked for Jimmy because I wanted them for 2 more years.
Yes, all they had to do was
they had to get him for 2 more years, and then you know what? If you want to call it shop, call it shop. Retire with Jimmy, good enough.
Exactly. Go out
with Jimmy, and I'm okay with it. But obviously it didn't happen.
Leave with the girl that brought you there.
Obviously it didn't happen. Ally's been a great sponsorship though for the sport because they already signed another 3-year, full year deal with Hendrick, and that's fantastic.
I have mixed feelings about their paint scheme, though. I don't want to get too off topic.
Well, okay. I totally agree with it. Last year's paint scheme for Jimmy was not good at all. I didn't like it one bit. This year's a little bit better.
This year,
but I still feel like
kind of cool.
I feel like
I don't like the pink, but also the pink kind of works well. But also, it doesn't
I don't know.
When I
it's
think
not
of NASCAR,
intimidating for me.
I don't. Yes,
it's not intimidating. It's like I know what you mean. It's hard to put it, but it's not. It's not in any way like, God, look how cool that car is. It's just like, oh, it's pink. It suits Jimmy because Jimmy honestly does not give two rips.
True.
He'll just embrace whatever they give him.
Yes, he's.
But this year's paint scheme is a lot better than last year's in terms of Jimmy's car. What about other paint schemes? Like,
What?
even this year or past years, what have been some of your...
I gotta
like,
say,
recent years. Let's say recent years.
I don't like the Wood Brothers Menards paint scheme. I don't like it. I don't think it works on Matty D's car.
I don't mind it. I think
mean,
what I
hey,
don't like about
if they're
it...
sponsoring that, great, because like more money from
I love
them to
Menards.
contend.
Absolutely love Menards, Wisconsin company, and I go there all the
way
freaking time.
better than Fleet Farm lately.
Absolutely.
I don't even shop at Fleet Farm. That
I don't
place
go
is
to
a
Fleet
fucking
Farm.
Shit show.
I don't go to
now.
Fleet Farm anywhere. I don't go to Fleet Farm. At this point, I walk in the Fleet Farm, I feel like I'm just bombarded with politics. And
Toys and candy too. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
Are
Hey, you
fucking
can't hate their
Walmart?
nuts, though.
Nah, that is true.
I do like their nuts.
Dude, I love their circus peanuts.
They got good nuts. I'll give them that. They at least got the sack, but they don't got anything else going for them. Paint schemes, though. I like... Let me backtrack. I don't like the Menards paint scheme for the reason that it goes, like, all the way up through the side skirts, and for some reason... like, they'll have, like, a Jack Link sponsor on there, and this might not even be for just Matty D, because Blaney is sponsored also by Menards. But they put, like, a Jack Link sponsor on the middle, like a Moen, and then it's, like, blue. So then it's, like, a neon green and, like, blue. And then I'm like, I don't like the flow they got going on there.
Mm-hmm. Matt Crafton's truck paint scheme is the way to go for Menards.
Oh, yeah.
They
All
should just-
bright yellow. I like that. It stands out big time,
Yep.
which is great. But, like, Brandon Jones kind of runs a similar paint scheme that Blaney and DiBenedetto run, and I just don't like it that much. Because they try to, like, I understand they put a different sponsor in there, because, like, Menards will put, like, a Moen on there, which they sell exclusively, or not exclusively,
Like a
but they
Peak.
sell that, a Peak, and they sell, like, you know, that type of merchandise there that they carry, which makes sense in my opinion, but it just doesn't flow great with the paint schemes.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked Kozlowski's Miller Lite number 2 that they had over the Coke 600 with like the flag on the side. I thought that was badass. I also just like Miller Lite.
I might buy that diecast.
That'd be a good diecast to buy. I own a few diecasts, but I keep them at my desk off my cars at my desk.
Nice.
I have a few there. I have the Mountain Dew Chase Elliott.
Ooh, sweet.
The like green one. I also just like Mountain Dew, so I kind of just am like, I'm gonna put it here also because I like Mountain Dew.
I have a 2000 Bobby Labonte MLB
Which one?
All-Star.
Which one did you buy at Road America last year? Which
So,
one was that?
I think I bought that one.
Was it that one?
MLB All-Star Game one.
Was it?
From his championship season, by the way.
Okay.
And then
So
I
I thought you
have
had a
just
different one.
basic Interstate Batteries
Yeah.
one, too. I've got a signed Casey Kane one from his, 07 scheme.
A signed
Where it was,
Casey Kane one.
yeah. Where it was Dodge.
Yeah.
And it was the white with the red top.
Oh, yeah.
That's his best paint scheme. Then I've got another one of Casey the year after. Cool, but not as cool. I got a Bobby Labonte Cheerios 43.
Oh, you do?
I have the
My mom used to have one of
96
those.
Hall of Fame Racing Ask.com one, too.
Oh my gosh.
What the fuck happened to Ask.com?
Are they a thing anymore?
About 3 years
Why don't we
ago.
Why don't we ask Google? Ask Google where Ask.com is.
About 3 years ago, I typed in ask.com and it popped up. And then I have
Hold
a
on,
Rusty
it's loading.
Wallace number 2 as well.
Oh, it's still a thing. Oh, for sure.
Did they throw
Look at that. I don't know. I mean, I see a lot of really dumb pain relief ads.
Oh, great. Blue Emu.
Blue Emu. Hey, they're a sponsor of the sport. You
That
can't
is
hate on them.
true. That is true. But yeah, I like Merton Truex Jr.'s Bass Pro Shops one too. We're just still talking
like
paint schemes.
the Cabela's one that they did with, I think, Tyler Reddick this year, and if not last year with Daniel Hemrick. It was a Bass Pro Shops and a Cabela's. That one I thought was really cool. I like the cat one that Tyler Reddick and Daniel Hemrick ran. That one I think is really cool. I don't know. I just kind of the simple and the color scheme I think was really awesome. Man, I don't know other good paint schemes.
Denny, year in and year out, FedEx. It's simple, but it's cool.
Yeah, I like when he switched to the white.
Yes.
Because it used to be like the black and then like the blue or green like flames or whatever, and then he's kind of recently switched to the white, and I think that looks really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It makes more sense in my opinion, I guess.
I've been hating Kyle Busch's Interstate Batteries, like paint schemes, the past couple of years.
Yeah, they haven't been.
The Stripes one was the worst, where they had the. Fuck, I'm trying to remember what year, but the Stripes.
They haven't been that
Christ,
great.
I just almost wanted them to leave the sport. That's like kind of the only time I root for Kyle.
I mean,
when I see that throwback.
Yeah.
Interstate Batteries scheme. Hopefully Penske and Miller come to an agreement where they can at least kind of stay
race.
For a couple.
Yeah, I want one
races every year.
One more race,
like JGR has. God, I want
it. Another paint scheme that I like as of recently was Bubba's Air Force Ones. You know what I'm talking about with the God, I don't even remember the name of it now. Like the let me find a picture of it quick and show you. It basically looks like an old war like fighter plane.
I am blanking.
Let me I don't even God, I can't remember the name of the plane. There's a name for it and I just don't remember what the heck it is. But let me find it. Let me show you. I think once you see it you'll know what I'm talking about, and you'll be like, "Oh yeah, that one."
Eric Amarola,
That's
also
right.
Worst paint scheme. Ooh, that is cool.
What the
heck
yeah, Warthog. That's
Warthog.
it. Warthog. That's
That
it.
cool.
Yeah, that one I think is pretty badass in my opinion. I think that looks freaking sweet.
That looks cool.
Looks
Amarola
really
is the
awesome.
worst one.
Oh my god, Amarola is just absolutely
like,
sucks sack.
That one, it's not even on Amarola. It's just
Smithfield's just boring.
No, it's fun. Yeah, it's just.
What? Oh, another good one. Ryan Blaney's PPG to like paint one. You know what I'm talking about? That one was sweet last year that he ran. That one was really cool. Or the Chase Elliott, was it Sun something, when he won his first cup race? He had like the blue with like the orange flames on the front.
I'm trying to remember that.
Look that one up. That one's pretty sweet too.
Jeez.
Some of the William Byron ones aren't bad either. Like he has some cool flames on the side that I think look pretty cool. Or even Sun Energy, that's the one I'm thinking of. Or Ryan Blaney's body armor ones I thought aren't too bad either. Or do you remember when Corey LaJoie put his face on his car with Old Spice?
Oh yeah.
Last year's Daytona, and then I think they even did the Atlanta race the following year. I thought that was awesome. I just thought that was funny, just really funny. But speaking of still into paint schemes, what has been some of your just all-time favorite paint schemes?
My all-time favorite, we mentioned it earlier, was that white Casey Kane.
The white Casey Kane
car with the red top.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 07. I think I said that already. And then I love Bobby Labonte's just green Interstate Batteries 18.
Yeah. Yep.
I do like the Kellogg's number 5 when Kyle Busch was driving it.
Oh, okay.
As well.
Interesting.
It's another one. And then I really like Hamlin's.
Hamlin's is clean.
Yes, it
pretty
looks
clean.
cool.
I mean, nothing crazy about it.
05 Coke 600. Bobby had the FedEx 18. It was weird. I didn't get it at first because I was like 7 when I watched that race. But I did love that scheme too. That was like the first time I really saw FedEx on the car.
I really
I do like the blue deuce when it was the blue deuce.
Like
And
the full
then when it
on
had
blue
the
deuce.
gold, when it had that like kind of gold
I love
core, I think it was a Kurt Busch and in the Brad.
Well, do you see the was it the genuine draft one? Is that the one you're talking about?
I think
Like Brad won in that car in Darlington like 2 years ago. That one, I loved that one from Rusty. Big fan of that one. I also really liked the Sterling Marlin, the Silver Bullet.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I loved that one. That one was one of my favorites. That one was definitely one of my favorites. And I really liked Alan Kawicki. I thought had a few cool ones, and so did not Bobby Allison, Davey Allison. I thought had a few really cool. I thought he had some just like simple paint schemes. Maybe that's just me, but I don't know. I thought he had a cool few ones. And Darrell Wallace with the 17. I think it was 17. Or was it 11?
I think it was
17?
11 and 17.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
He also had a few just really cool, like, clean paint schemes. But now, I mean, with all the sponsors and everything, and I know you don't want it, you didn't like it too much, but I actually kind of hope they move the number back. I'm getting more sold on it the more I think about it. I really like it.
Didn't do anything for me.
It was a good change for me with seeing the different sponsors on the sides and everything. And I think that they can do more with the paint schemes, in my opinion anyway. I mean, obviously it's not going to be like the All-Star Race. They didn't have that much time to like redesign it. And I mean, they weren't going to spend 30 hours designing this one paint scheme for one race. But I thought they could do some cool stuff with that, moving it back and more sponsorship stuff. And it's the same size. It seemed like in my eyes are very similar. And as long as they, like I said before, as long as it's consistent, the whole season they're keeping it in this spot, then I'm fine. As long as it's in the same spot,
I could get used
race
to it.
in and race out.
Thing.
Same spot. That's the only way they can do it.
Mm-hmm.
They can't go back and forth. There's no way that's going to work. People are going to get way too confused, and people are going to exit off and not watch, which is what they don't want. But if they keep it consistent, we're putting it here, and we're going to keep putting it here, I could be okay with that. As long as they don't put it on the back quarter. I don't want it on the back quarter panel. It needs to be in between the tires.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. That'd be good enough for me. Well, so New Hampshire's coming up. Not this weekend, actually. Following weekend. This weekend we still got some other Kansas races, some truck races, and an Xfinity race. But let's quick talk about some New Hampshire preview. What are you hoping to take away from this race?
Well, from New Hampshire, what I think I'm going to take away is I think JGR is going to have a dominant race. Kyle Busch has been good there. Truex is good there. Hamlin, good there.
Hamlin's been good there, and if Hamlin's been good there in this season, he went in. And
Eric Jones heating up. I feel like this is the week for JGR. Like, if they can't dominate this week, I'm talking at least 3 cars in the top 10. Maybe even Eric Jones, too.
Maybe Eric Jones.
Maybe even Eric Jones. They should contend. If they don't, then honestly, shut down the rest of the teams for the season. Only focus on Hamlin.
Yeah, at this point, yeah. I could definitely agree with you on that. I still don't think the Chevys are going to win. And, they're going to go out and prove me wrong. But they don't have the grip. I feel like they don't have the handling and the grip that you need for New Hampshire, because this is very flat, not a lot of banking. It's a very grip heavy track. You gotta have a lot of technical grip and everything. And
I feel like Bowman is gonna have a strong performance. And then Elliott, who's been really quiet other than his big All-Star win race.
He's been just kind of getting like top 15s. Nothing
and
crazy.
New Hampshire's not really a great track for him.
No.
So
No.
I think that he's not going to have a big day. I think that
I don't think any of the
Penske's are
Chevys. I don't think any of the Chevys are going to have a big day. I really don't. I think maybe Kurt Busch, because Kurt Busch somehow finds a way to get a top 10 out of that car, which is great for Chip Ganassi, because the one used to be not that great with Jamie McMurray.
it was always second fiddle.
Yeah, always
to
the 42. But now that's definitely the team, especially with Kyle Larson out and Matt Kenseth in it, which is really hurting Matt Kenseth.
This is a good race for Matt Kenseth.
Yes,
Matt
because
Kenseth
he won
has
2016.
Yes.
He won 2016. He won this race.
New Hampshire races. Also, we all know Harvick is great here, and we all know fucking Almirola's on a tear.
Yeah.
But Clint Boyer has 2 wins here. That's 20% of all of his wins come from this track.
That's a good point. I still really hope that Clint Boyer doesn't win. We're gonna say this. I don't think Clint Boyer is gonna win this race.
No.
And now Clint Boyer is going to come out and just annihilate the field, and just make things worse for Jimmy's situation.
See, now usually when we say that, well, I don't think he's gonna win, they go out and they win. But I feel like by you trying to say that,
You're just throwing a lot of psych at me, like, hey, we reverse this, reverse that, and then there you go, he's not going to win. I still don't think his car's good enough to win.
No, I don't think he's good enough.
I really don't think he's good enough.
No.
I don't.
This isn't a Clint Boyer year.
Kevin Harvick, though, God, dangerous. Dangerous.
Scary. 4 wins here. 4 wins.
Yeah, and with how he's doing this season,
I think he's the winningest driver at New Hampshire.
Out. Yeah, watch out. Yeah.
Scary motherfucker.
Yeah.
My God.
Very bad. Yep. So now who needs a good performance out of this race more than anybody else?
Well, I would say
besides Jimmy.
Yeah, okay. Well, you just took
because
you just took that away from
Jimmy's
me.
the obvious pick, because you're right, he does. But who else needs some kind of positive momentum going forward?
I think Chase Elliott really needs it.
Chase Elliott does need it. You're right.
He's just been quiet. Him or Logano.
Logano really needs it. He needs something positive to get into Michigan, because if he can get a good race, a good finish out of New Hampshire, I think he could easily win one of the Michigan races, because he's been a decent driver in Michigan, and the Fords have been proven to be fast in Michigan.
Oh. It's
yeah. So I think if Logano can piece together something out of the New Hampshire race, I think he'd have a good shot in some positive momentum going forward into the doubleheader in Michigan. That he could win maybe one of them, in my opinion. But you're right. Logano does need something positive.
Oh, yeah. There's still a good chunk of this regular season left before the playoff.
Seven races, I believe.
But he
needs something positive to get into the season, because if he doesn't, he really needs to make something happen before to get some positive momentum going in.
It's like COVID wrecked him.
Yeah.
Basically.
Without him actually getting it. It did wreck him. Well,
Jimmy got it, and it's been wrecking him.
It has.
Well, other people have been, too.
Yeah. Well, so, picks. We're a week early, but, we could, why don't we do this? Let's make our picks, and next week we can sit on them for a week and see if we want to keep our picks.
All right. You want to start?
I'll start. Because I have a feeling you're going to pick Kevin Harvick, I'll take Denny Hamlin.
Oh, all right.
I'll take Denny Hamlin. I will take the Fords, and I will pick for my team. Who should I pick for my? That's a good question, Don. Who I should pick for my team? I want to go with Penske, but I also think it might be a JGR kind of day. I'll go with Penske. I'll stick with Penske. Stick with Penske. Let's see where they take me.
So I'm going Ford for my manufacturer.
Yeah.
Definitely. Just between Stewart-Haas and Penske, you can't go wrong. They've been winning all the races.
Yeah, that's fair. Absolutely.
Now the team. I said it earlier. This has got to be the week for Gibbs.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
But goddamn, Penske's going to finally put one together. I got a zig when you zag, so I'm going JGR.
All right, yeah.
Little Hamlin insurance.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And for my driver, oh man,
I feel like it's...
You went Hamlin, so I almost have to go Harvick.
You have to go Harvick. I feel like if you don't go Harvick, you're just wasting away points.
There's a little part of me that feels like this won't happen, but like, what if Matt Kenseth?
I would love if Matt Kenseth won that race.
He's got to win.
I would love it and hate it all at the same time. I would love it because I like Matt Kenseth as a driver. He doesn't take crap, and honestly, he's less whiny than Matt Kenseth is, because if he's upset, he's legitimately upset. Kyle Busch just wants to whine sometimes. And
you said Matt Kenseth. Kenseth is way better, or Matt Kenseth is way whinier and less whiny than Matt Kenseth. You were talking Kyle Busch, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Kyle Busch. Yes.
Had me confused for a second.
Matt Kenseth is less whiny than Kyle Busch.
Yeah. Kyle Busch is a fucking crybaby.
He is. But what I'm trying to get at is that this would be great because I like Matt Kenseth. Always have. Great. He's kind of been my number 2, number 3 guy, right? Kind of steady. Kind of always there. I always will root for him if he's there at the end.
I always have 3 drivers that I'm really into.
But for Jimmy's sake, that's bad. I'm hoping Jimmy just wins at Dover and we don't even have to worry about all this. And in like a month from now, this will all be a funny memory. But I know that's not going to happen, and that Jimmy's not going to make the playoffs. I feel like if I tell myself that, then I'll be more excited if he does get in. But I'm just assuming I'm just assuming he's not going to get in. I'm at this point I'm thinking he's not getting in. You know what? I've accepted it. He's not making it. If he gets in, I'll be even more pumped. We're going to come on this pod, and I'll be freaking thrilled. But I'm assuming that that's not going to happen.
Going to have to turn the earbuds all the way down.
The
volume all the way down.
Yeah.
All right. So, well, I didn't officially say it. I'm going Harvick.
Harvick, yeah. I feel like that's a no-brainer pick.
I need a no-brainer. I got to use them while I can.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
kick my ass.
Yes. We're gonna have to discuss playoff format soon, coming up too in the next month.
Ooh.
Because that's coming up on us pretty quick here.
Yeah. Maybe we could do that next show.
We'll see. Well, next pod is going to be next week Friday. We're going to talk about some truck and Xfinity races that are happening now and as of the rest of the weekend. Apart from that, there's no cup race until our next pod. But, well, thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next week.